number one. The day another dream coming up with a scheme. Sitting at home alone, analyzing the scene. But to me, it's only close and pounds of grain. Another day another dream coming up with a scheme. Sitting at home alone, analyzing the scene. But to me, it's only close and pounds of grain.
Hold up. I gotta take it back to a crew. Infinite Loop. These brothers, when they would put this song on stage, you couldn't. Come on, you gotta understand.
We made you and your whole crew choke up.
Come on now.
Man, don't even get your hopes up. I can't believe that your whack ass spoke up. Step to the mic and get your style broke up. We made you and your whole crew choke up. My poetry is settled in. Rich melanin, it's compelling when it hits your skeleton.
Then you start developing vibration.
Next, we pour libations to your memory.
Remember me, why ask that when I'm producing images of a flashback?
Cerebellum to ass crack, we own you. Don't be prone to explode you at the slightest gesture.
You've just met the introductions of lyrics eruption. Bring substance without the abuse. We choose to deliver originals. Take the con off the fuse. Make a bond with the laws that apply to my, not just hip hop. Not looking for no quick drop and shit.
Hey, y'all take a pit stop before y'all take the pitfall. Hit your dead center to your head's rendered in conscience. Then extract all of the nonsense. It's too much yapping nowadays without content. It's too much yapping nowadays without content. My phonics blooms, then blows and consumes like sonic booms. Forever entombed in brain piles, now maintain wild. I change style.
I change wild MC, civilized the palace MC. That empty out lyrical malice. Don't play no childish games. So to tempt me, your aim is off center. No great pretender. Fame calls when you say you'll end up
so in the control, no libido, cause I in the road with these lethal people. Better see through all of the evil intentions. Men even listen while I'm thinking. Styles I'm linking. Preparing me a brainstorm while you're just an inkling.
Come on now.
Really change forms while you're still shrinking to the size of a single cell organism. It takes more than rhythm to captivate. When I touch, I activate.
Like acts of faith. We can tap your soul or blacks with hate. We can tap your face up. Maps and place, providing guidelines while MCs sideline. I won't hide mine. Now when's the right time?
Yo, I write rhymes like I'm trained in the right time. I cite minds in a squeeze from the tight rhymes. Look, you might find that I'm the reason why the light shines so bright that it might blind. For any nigga think about white mind, best believe I cut your lifeline in the day or in the nighttime.
Mean what we say, freestyle or write rhymes.
I can't believe that your whack ass spoke up. Step to the mic and get your style broke up. We made you and your whole crew choke up. Man, don't even get your hopes up. I can't believe that your whack ass spoke up. Step to the mic and get your style broke up. We made you and your whole block choke up. We made you and your whole shit choke up. We made this thing, grab a nigga fly fucking biscuit. Drill a hole in the soul with this quick, cause that's what a bitch gets apocalyptic. Archangel raw, terrorist, bring a terrible terror to be your range or endeavors. Cause you can never ever weather the severance from a reverend. Visited by the residents of my malevolence. They don't even fail evidence. Setting precedents for the level of decadence that accompanies my presence. Witness the effervescence, bubbling from the essence. Troubling to you guessed it. Yo, jump the precious storm. Me and there holding the ice like a frigid air. Niggas gotta learn better chill or get false firm. I can go Santa Claus for the masses. Cause I got a bad habit of hanging out on lashes, which is an ass. Fuck the ice. Head
rock. Come on, there you go. Infinite Loop has too many MCs
the regular strain. Hey man, compliment over a mic stand. Smite the main man. First batter up, spit a grand slam. Left hand out the pump. Bring light to the dark like the covenant ark. Down in the belly of Noah's ark. It's a lot of rappers that don't know the art. Form or elements involved. They just keep walking indoors that revolve. Fighting off the cat that act like they got all their problems solved. Tell them freestyle. He think it's acapella written. Off the head is whatever he was thinking. Got cat back and what I'm speaking. When my presence is vacant. Abstract, awful, back way beyond ancient. The infinite loop been around. Since praying in the synagogue with the presence of God down.
It's for me. It's my time to shine. My time to rhyme. Everyone, we set the baseline. It's for me. It's my time to shine. My time to shine. My time to shine. Now it's that black purple demon captured in flash. Still scheming to start these tracks. Man, alphabets. I'm hazardous for your health. Don't write these rhymes for the well. I'm trying to see like how many times I can impress myself. And I'm impressed when I manifest my feelings. The lyrics so hot, they crack the blast out the ceiling. And I'm revealing still. Respond with my spiral, magnificent, most significant words written since the Bible. Wrote these flaming hymnals, the scorching mentals, make your body tremble in consecutive venerables. Yo, mics I swarm like Jamaicans wear orange. And back in 92 into the natives I was sworn. That's when I took that oath that decided my fate. We had to orchestrate. It's time to create and dictate. And if I live by that, it will all be right. My time to shine up in the after limelight. It's so me. It's my time to shine. My time to rhyme. And if you want, we set the baseline. It's so me. It's my time to shine. My time to shine. My time to shine. That's it personified. That's it personified. Huge rhymes and flows. Demolition is the program.
Sorry, I had to get to you.
Hip hop needs no one. No, but we sure need it. So we strive for expansion. Cause we're the ultimate. JD run that shit. I'm living strictly off experience. Heaven helps me. The devil tempts me. Been here for centuries. I'm feeling older than the ones that's supposed to lead me. I see them gather wearing DNRs on TV. Fighting over whether or not they should feed me. I dreamt it in my sleep, man. It's all too creepy. Maybe it's all psychological. Got one thing on my mind when my pen hit the lines. Yeah. Put a little more thought in your rhymes. Listen to feedback one time. It's one of those answers that you should find. Steadily challenging on your minds. No hate crime for you, LTIMATE. No freebies. You wanna be beasties. You in the game, but you had to sneak. You get crushed by the domination squad completely.
Indestructible, incorruptible, prepared, restoring culpable. My sayings is incompatible, electric fences untouchable. Eclectic and ambiguous, the thought-provoking differences, the antithesis of why most cats and sleep. Describe as neighbors, true indeed, it means greed. Especially for money, most of their practices they feed off proverbial fame. Emulating, betraying what they really not, proclaiming hip-hop. Invading your box, the FM dial, meanwhile, typers growing in each corner. Resilience and brilliance, they overshadowed by marketing. Example, the dopest kid you never heard of, the one you can't stand, they charting. Haven't guarded or never blended, so I consider with diligence, linking consonants and vowels as what's intended. Whatever happened to being inventive? Cats or don't rhyme and give me incentive. I'm not vindictive, I depict new ways to rip it through and loose until I'm finished. Never to be the minute, cause the vocab used is very necessary. Understand what rhyme is used to fight the adversary. In the land of crooks and copies, no one can compare.
There's this crew that we all know and love.
Let us entertain you. Let us entertain you.
This kind of was set it off for us.
Entertain you and show you who we really are. Let us interject us. Amphibians bus coming on down the street. Moving pretty cautious, but to shuffle your feet. A hopscotch and no miss a beat. Grab a hold of this radish. You might break out in a radish. Highs, beams, buzzing around my skin for nectar to continue live. Drones working to fertilize clones. My clothes is in metal, prone to entice, then seal lives within chlorophyll. Natural acidic skill to ingest insects. Mutated manifestations of acid rain insects. Populations as we commence to entertain and show you who we really are.
Let us take the crisp to define your analysis from this high risk of this endless rotation from the watch from your wrist. Interpretness, mental fitness through this excursion, dispersion. Let us find the vibe vegetarian and dispersion. No cholesterol, mimic levitation, adding seaweed to conceive a DC, discombobulating to let us reflect in seaweed frequently, deep in depth, vibrantly. Let us be loud silently. Don't mistake this for no cabbage class mismatch. Tackles hatch whenever we do this. Let us chop up lettuce. Tomato, you're silly like putty. Play-Doh, yo, let us.
Rapidly winds go by under your feet as you fall from a window below to the street. Remember, we screamed at you. Let us help you. Now look up at the clouds that you just fell through. If you're finding that the rat race is providing too much stress, let us do things that are medical. We suggested amphibian analgesia. Pain, leave it behind. There's no need to be a mind vegetable. You may consider our ways as fast moving manga as we act as robotic gardeners in attempts to change the unethical, unacceptable treatment of our seeds. Language and entertainment are precipitation, creation of the world for the ears have no fear to feed. And bring CO2 emitted out of an MS1. Walk out into the sun. Allow your lungs to expand as we travel to a land of calm seas. 20,000 leagues below the world of peace. Mic checks and overly aggressive fatalities. Let us not spoil. Listeners, plant yourselves in this psychiatric soil. As we spill words and what are you? Going blue towards skies of blue. Let us entertain you. Let us not spoil. Listeners, plant yourself in this psychiatric soil. As we spill words and what are you? Going blue towards skies of blue. Let us entertain you. Let us entertain you. Let us entertain you. Let us entertain you. Show you who we really are. Let us entertain you. Let us entertain you. Let us entertain you. Show you who we really are.
That's my time. I'm your man OJ Fresh. I just wanted to come through and let you know a little history of the DC scene that we know and we want to represent for y'all. Thanks for coming out and hanging out. I hope you enjoy the film. It is a flavor of love. My man Ashley, I'm gonna pass it to you. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for coming out. Make sure you get up for DJ Jamal real quick, either in the chat or wherever you at, wherever you broadcasting from. Give it up for the DJ. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right. So welcome everyone. My name is Gabriel Asheru Ben. So happy to be here and see all of you all. I see a lot of people here. I see all my U Street family, all my sister and all my brethren from U Street, the School of Hard Knocks. So welcome. Come on in. If you got somebody that's supposed to meet you here, let them know we about to get started with the film and everything. Come on in. All right. What's up? I see you, Baye. What's up? Tony, I see Tony Blackman. I see Tim Hicks in here. See Tim Jones. What's up? Keo is in here. All right. Welcome, y'all. So tonight, we are here to gather to check out this film, Fresh Convos. We want to first make sure we got to thank our funders and sponsors. I want to thank Humanities DC, DC Oral History Collaborative, and the DC Public Library for funding and supporting this venture, this project. I'm excited because you all are about to see something that really captures the era, that golden era of hip hop in DC in the 90s, moving into 2000s, and very, very excited for you all to see it. Just to give you I guess a background or update on what the film is and what you are about to see. So this is Fresh Convos. It's a DC hip hop oral history mini documentary, but we'll say documentary because there's more of the story to be told for sure. This is a film that is comprised of select interviews that went on with the Fresh Convos podcast, which was hosted by Joseph Joey Too Fresh Villaroman. So you'll see in this film the different guests that were on the show, different people that are part of our DC hip hop family, as they explore their journeys through the regions, developing affinity for hip hop music, culture, and really, like I said, what we define as that golden era of hip hop. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to the filmmakers to go ahead and splash us with the film real quick, and then when we come out of that, we'll have a quick convo. We'll get any questions, comments, get your feedback, and all that good stuff. All right, is that cool? Can we do that? We good? Thumbs up. All right, let's do it.
The year was 1995. Bill Clinton was president, and hip-hop's golden era was reaching a new zenith with groups far outside of New York City, like the Ghetto Boys and Outkast, taking the culture in exciting new directions. But they were far from the only ones coming from a new region with something to say. Enter the DMV hip-hop scene, when the DC metro area did experience a renaissance of its own, right around the corner from Howard University on U Street Northwest. This 4-block stretch of clubs and restaurants like State of the Union, Republic Gardens, and Bar None became the breeding ground and now time capsule of some of the most brilliant artists you've never heard. Until now.
Generation 2000 was one of several collectives that formed around this time. We're talking mid to late 90s. Focus, the nexus, if you will, was this cafe up in Georgetown, 26 and P Street,
Right.
called It's Your Mug. Sister named Tony Asante Lightfoot was the host.
And we all will be remembered warriors.
She ran it like a finely oiled machine. And it was church. It was a very reverent, holy place for poets to go. And there were a lot of poets who kind of created these collectives at the time. So Tony Asante had her group, and they were called the Modern Urban Griots, MUG, which kind of went with the mug. So they were kind of like the mug representatives for It's Your Mug. Black Rooster Collective, some brothers who were really respected. DJ Renegade, Kenny Carroll,
Brian Gilmore.
I mean, they wrote a poem, went back and rewrote the poem, went back and edited. You know what I mean? They were really dedicating themselves to the craft, and I wasn't in. I was very much off the top of my head. Whatever I'm in at the moment is what I'm meant to say, and then it's in the universe, and I'm moving on to the next line.
Got to mention A-Rock, the A-Rock cats too.
The It's Your Mug and A-Rock were kind of out at the same time.
She allowed us to express ourselves in terms of rhyming and just throwing on music.
I love being black and proud and not a thug. I love representing at the place It's Your Mug.
It's just dope, and then after that, we didn't have nowhere else to go. We were on the street. We were in Georgetown.
A young poet from California dared to start a workshop in Southeast DC just to improve her skills and be around like-minded artists.
And so we ended up at 8 Rock Cultural Arts Center on Southeast DC because of DC poetry legend Kenneth Carroll. So I was telling Kenny about the problem, and Kenny was like one of my big brothers. Kenny was a mentor to me, and Kenny looked out like on some necks. And so Kenny went about the business of looking for a space for me to do it. I think there was literally 7 people, and we would rhyme until we were sweating. We put out the flyers to a few more people, and some other cats started to come. And then when that crew came, then here came, like a few months later, all these kids from Duke Ellington School of the Arts came.
Duke Ellington was just a place that you can just grow as an artist.
I went there for a couple of years for visual arts,
And you know, that's where I met a lot of like early DC hip hop, early golden era hip hop on the rise. You know, people like Slim Cat, people like Black Indian, DJ RBI. I think it was Tony Blackman that invited me the first time.
So you
I started at a
Blackman.
I was at it was like a hip hop event at Howard University. I think she like saw me freestyling or something. It was just like a vibe. And she was like, yo, you should come to this event.
Once that crew came, they brought more of their friends.
The Freestyle Union was really where all the people that rapped came, you know, religiously on a Monday to just cipher out and you know, be heard.
Freestyle Union was school. It was like, you know, where you learn to be a better MC.
Young artists like John Moon and Kokai helped formulate the format and atmosphere around the workshop, which grew quickly from 20 to 40 artists at a time.
Freestyle Union is a hip-hop workshop dedicated to the elevation of the rhyme. What we do there is we worship the rhyme. We embrace the rhyme. The cipher is a sacred place.
We trained together in that boot camp.
Yes.
We were in the dojo with Sub-Z and Coconut.
Yeah.
We were in the dojo for 2 years straight without interruption.
I learned from all these MCs. Like I learned from especially from Kokai, Sub-Z, and Priest the most. Like I studied everything about them. I studied the way they moved, because like the way they would move, it would be how they would flow. You know what I mean? Like I studied all of it. I could tell you how Sub-Z with the shoulders.
Now we can disagree without being disagreeable, but if it comes to that, I'm seeing you with the authority of a traffic cop locking the boot on your vehicle. I mean, Mike.
It's like Priest with the
MCs, I run through them like jealousy. Smooth like bad to the bone, like calcium deficiencies. Damn.
Yeah, and Kokai with the, because Kokai was like a saxophone or something.
You know, that's when I met a lot. That's when I met a lot of those people, and it was like really blown away. You know, but they welcomed me in. That was really where I would say that my freestyle that became more of a thing to me.
This cipher was unique because you had people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities.
I remember Philly. He brought me to the cipher.
Yes.
Like, yo, you got to check this out. Like, you know, we the only Filipinos there. I was like, what?
Yes.
I was like, okay, let's go.
I'm walking up in there with a fucking staff, yo. So imagine what's going through my head, like dreadlocks and a staff, but probably a little sack on, who knows? And so you got to think. I'm probably thinking to myself like, yo, I'm about to be the most powerful motherfucker in here. So then I heard everybody rap, and I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers is dope. I saw Sub-Z go to one leg and come back up on his ankle. I saw John Moon rap. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Yo, these motherfuckers is ill.
Because it was a thing to be like 14 years old rapping with grown men.
Right.
And like to be like respected. Like, oh, nah, you killed it. He killed it, but then you killed it. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And I have not been in a community where there were that many dope MCs. There's the one or two, but I haven't been in a place where there's 30 of them. Except for in DC during that era.
U Street, the epicenter of DC, Maryland, and Virginia hip-hop, coalesced on a busy club-filled section of Northwest DC in the mid to late 90s.
It was a place you could go to with no plans, because it was a plan unto itself. You go to U Street, like just knowing like, all right, if I don't have a plan, let's say, there's a set at Mango's. Oh, there's a set at Bar None. Oh, there's somebody playing in State. Maybe, maybe not. It was really more like, yo, I'm gonna just go up in that area and something's gonna happen.
U Street was a very artistic street in DC. Yes. All the small cafes, and you would find the poets and the people freestyling.
Return to old school rules. We're breaking knowledge through the heads of fools, equipping warriors with tools. A sharper shining.
There was a lot of memories on U Street. I mean, to be honest.
That just thinking about all the friends we picked up along the way. Just, you know, seeing people come through, vibing with them, rhyming with them and everything.
Gotta understand, to the 9th degree, I burn in the retina so everybody can see.
It was just a perfect thing that could have been happening for us in one of the most perfect times in one of the most perfect places. You know, like U Street was a paradise in a lot of ways.
Definitely, man.
Just those wonderful warm nights when you're just standing out at the corner of 14th and U. The music is kind of, you know, thumping, coming out of state, and you can watch people coming in and out, but it's like they'll go in fresh, but they're coming out sweaty. You don't walk out of state the same way you walked in.
The reggae scene, there was still a punk scene.
It was just like a pulse, you know, and you have way more clubs open. Everybody was trying to just figure out, how are we going to do it? How do we get ciphers going? How do we get in the clubs? Who do we need to talk to perform? People were handing out flyers, you know. But of course, you know, you had these spots like State of the Union, which already had a particular legacy before hip hop. But now, because of like the kind of times are changing in a sense, like that became this like staple place.
I knew I could run into the amphibians and figure out what was happening.
So there was a lot of classic memories at State of the Union. I remember like having performances there.
I did a nice little run at State of the Union for a while. Back to back with Sam Burns, man. Sam Burns was the DJ that came on right after me on Sundays. He came on after us and spun the house. Rest in peace to Sam Burns. Like, seriously, man.
It was an underground block, and then Republic opened up, and suddenly it was like, oh, the place to be seen, right? But there were always like, you know, finely dressed, high heel girls going into Republic Gardens and sort of disdainfully walking past State. And I could think of at least 10 occasions where the line's too long at Republic and they're outside. Should we go home? I got dressed up. It's one of them. You overhear the whole conversation. Yo, you want to go in there? Wait, in there? Yeah. So they're like looking at State like this. And then, just like Patrick said, man, they go in looking fresh, boy. They come out with sopping, with a sheen of sweat. And then about a week later, you like look and it's like, that's Lil. She came for Fashion Week 2 weeks ago. Now she's dressed down, ready to get busy. Come into State, listen to some good hip hop, go in the back, listen to some good house.
It was a wave, man. I mean, it was Black Broadway, Right, and then we just kind of reinvigorated that energy. Right. Unknowingly, I think, like we didn't even know we were catching a spirit, but we did, and we created something that was really beautiful for that time.
I don't know what Black Broadway looked like back in the early 1900s, but I feel like it was the same energy.
If I could freeze any moment in time, good and the bad, it would be then. The energy was so raw, man.
It all started in Slim Cat's basement, and he called the aquarium.
It was just this really organic thing that evolved, that like birthplace and definitely birthplace at Duke Ellington for me personally.
Right.
But obviously everybody was having their own initial shoot off points that kind of coalesced into one.
Everyone just had a cool vibe, so we just hung out. I mean, that's how I was introduced. It was definitely the Freestyle Union.
We would come in here, freestyle, have ciphers, sharpen the skills up, do all kind of lyrical exercises. Real tight work.
Kaffa House, man, really really brought a lot of us together.
We were like friends.
Yeah, that's it. It was a brotherhood. It was a brotherhood for sure.
It was a brotherhood.
So like some people don't know, but like you said, I started the Amphibians like because like we had all these other crews. I was like, but my folks is dope. My folks is ill. I want to have my own crew. I mean, so it was like when I wrote it down, it was Chemistry, Mysticism, Joe Villa, Philly, Baking Soda, John Moon.
We were different.
Yeah.
We were unusual.
Let's say it started with that group, right? And then you all was out in the world and like meeting other MCs. And it's because of you all's energy, which was so like inviting, that more MCs would come in.
Because we kind of had every spectrum, we had every facet, and that's really what kept me there. Was the fact that like it was a strong collective with incredible ideas of people that were not afraid to like authentically do their thing.
We were all part of Freestyle Union, pre-amphibians. And actually, they gave us that push to be amphibians.
Truthfully, you guys just pretty much got us together and was like, let's just do our own thing, man. You know, we dope.
Y'all is historical.
The flow was got to a point where we are all hosting in the same night and no one's talking about it. We know who's behind us playing. We're aware of that, you know, and people are taking turns also. You know, you got a free transition thing going on. You're hosting, and sometimes I might jump in, Jamal might jump in, John might jump in, Philly would jump in.
Because that was the first time anybody heard rap in public.
You know, it was just a vibe. It was probably the most amazing vibe that I've ever seen.
We were able to come out of our bedrooms. We were able to come out of our basements. We were able to like not have to be like, you know, and trying to squeeze into some little cipher or whatever.
Right.
And able to do it on our own terms, in our own space. It was DIY, which is a huge component of like DC culture, from punk to hip hop to beyond that. DIY culture was like at its finest right then. We didn't have no records. We didn't have no, you know, we were recording our own little tapes, trying to scrounge up enough money to buy our equipment, you know, learning how to use speakers, putting on battles, all these, you know, great moments.
We had Slim Cat, Trevor Goodchild playing live beats. Like no one had that.
When we were in the early stages of Lifeline, we literally, you know, we were taking our turntables up there, sampling on the spot. You know, we had our drum sounds in there. We would take records and just be like, fuck it, we just gonna take whatever we can, whatever sound. You know, we would just come up with some chops, man. And the cats would just go in on freestyle.
Just the memories of that place of what we have created, and you know, using all our talents in one place. We got to learn how to host. We practice our songs. It was really dope.
As the years passed, those young people on U Street and those electric ciphers began to grow and change. These paths diverged far and wide in choice and circumstance, Tony Blackman becoming the first hip-hop ambassador for the State Department, Patrick of the Poem C's holding his Dialect PG Poets events and becoming a director for nonprofit Words, Beats, and Life. Those younger members, however, who became the Amphibians Collective, were rallied again in 2020 by an idea. Honoring the dream of a fallen brother during this long journey, Jason Villaroman, the heart and soul of the Amphibians crew and one of the most pervasive and positive presences in the DMV hip-hop scene. From Zoom meetings during a pandemic that reunited old friends from as far as the Netherlands, the Amphibians decided to pool their resources and produce the visual for Breathe, a truly heartfelt and earnest song posthumously constructed by his crew to preserve their friend's love for life for all time.
Living living. My spirit in this 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 practicing this addiction by living, working, regurgitating time spent on rent, ventilation. Other than what my spirit represent, I'm practically adjusted to believing that this bubble, troubled by society that's built hideously, maneuvering through this monopoly. I ask whatever happened to living, working, ventilation. Brothers mutter pigeons and scrubs in this new world pop dynasty. Honestly, others that continue to clutter the music that we create. They ask us of other things, which to me is procrastinating. I'm waiting for the day it would all come around, being at peace in the presentations of our sounds. Song, miracle, song, melody. I have been a miracle. I have been all I want to do is breathe, struggling to fit in this world that limits me, conditioned to the ways I cannot relate. Trying to be receptive to this world before we get erased. All I want to do is breathe, struggling to fit in this world that limits me, conditioned to the ways I cannot relate. Trying to be receptive to this world before we get erased. All I want to do is breathe. My spirit in this living. 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 My spirit in this.
Most definitely. Rest in peace to all the ones we lost throughout this journey. I want to take a moment to bring up the filmmakers Khalil, Shatungwa, and Phil, and open up the floor for them to say a few words and, to get you all's feedback and have a conversation. Man, I was emotional, man. I ain't even gonna, man, I was emotional, bro. I saw a sneak peek last night and it's still like watching it for the first time. So, but yeah, let's open it up. So Khalil, Shatungwa, Phil.
Yeah, brothers.
What's up? All right.
What's up, everybody?
Peace.
Peace. Yeah,
Hope y'all enjoyed it.
Everybody stuck after that.
Man, I'm stuck, bro.
I'm at work, but that joint was crazy.
Khalil made everybody speechless. He can't even talk.
That's what's up. I'm just loving it.
Let's do this.
Let him talk, but I'm just
crazy.
here to listen.
This is what we're gonna do. This how we're gonna do it. What I want to do is just so we can let that breathe for a minute. All pun intended. Let's take a minute. If anybody wants to just shout out one or two words for how they feel right now in this moment, go ahead and take a moment to do that, or you could put it in the chat. But let's just real quick popcorn go around Anybody, 1 or 2 words.
Hey, Gabe. I
Hey.
actually just want to say a few words because I have to go shortly, but it was a pleasure to see, obviously, my husband in that particular light. And thanks, Gil, for, pressing on, because you know how I get. And, obviously everybody else there. I mean, I've seen, a lot of you in different, capacities, when we were together. And so it's an amazing feeling. My daughter is here as well. And so she was excited, to see it. So I just thank you for the invite and, look forward to seeing this in rotation and seeing others being able to see this, film as well.
For sure, for sure.
Hey, so blessed to have you. Oh, blessed.
Thank you so much. Love you, Nadir. You already know.
Already.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody else got a couple words they want to? It's not to put anybody on the spot. You don't have to say anything. I just wanted to open it up in case anybody felt compelled,
I am nothing without y'all niggas. I love everybody so much. You know what I'm saying? I bro, everything I got. I had a little bit before I met y'all, but I still feel the nervousness in my heart right now that I felt when I was 15, when I first walked into that cipher, and I was like, that shit put the fear of God in me. I was like, and I just was like, meaning like, I'm comfortable rapping in circles, but even that was challenging with y'all motherfuckers. But like to have to step up and rap in front of everybody and everybody just sitting there like, oh, that shit, I can still feel it. Like, and that's why I'm always like afraid to lose it. That's why I see all y'all niggas, I'll be like, y'all want to freestyle real quick?
Right.
I love y'all. Man, we love you, Jabari, man. It's good to see you. Good to see you.
See you, man.
You know I had to put you in there. I had to put you in there, right? I had to put that clip in there.
So real quick, Gil, talk a little bit about the process of just putting this film together, like how it all came about, how, just talk a little bit about how you made that happen.
Yeah, indeed. Well, these things all, started with this Breathe video, and then the Breathe video led to us wanting to do these fresh convos with Joey Two Fresh and Chakra. And then it just so happens that my mother was coming across a grant, and she was like, Khalil, this sounds like exactly what you all are doing with the oral history. So it was like, and then she actually applied for the grant. So shout out to mom, everything starts with her, literally with me. So, but yeah, so, and then it was about, compiling the interviews that we wanted to use. And then, it was about finding my main subjects and breaking them down. But the thing that I loved so much was actually putting this all together. So it just sounded like one complete conversation. And then, then we go searching for the pictures. And then, so we have a lot of pictures on file. But then recently, Chakra got some 8mm footage from Troy. I see Troy out there, So, and then it just became even realer because like I was able to actually bring the words to life because now I had these visuals with it, But yeah, so but then it was like it was a lot of work actually finding like all these random flyers and things, and so I definitely have been searching all summer and fall for all these things. And it's very hard to find that time in history, anything about it. So I'm hoping that this inspires the people that see this to, do some of the things with some of their photos or some of their video, because it's so important that we get to tell these stories. And then it's like I'm working all with the team, so it's not just me editing. It's I'm working with Chakra directly with the video editing back and forth. I make an edit and send it to him. He send it back, and then also working with SP Methods on the writing, and just working as a team. Like literally, like when we say we made it to Zoom, we were meeting weekly. Then it turned to bi-weekly. Now it's at monthly, but it definitely was weekly for a year. So we have definitely been meeting weekly about this project for a year, every Tuesday. But it was wonderful also to like work with my mother and also have my bros work with my mother. You know what I mean? And just because like let's say she was one of the co-founders of 8 Rock. So everything just all moves in a cycle. So I'm just happy to leave a mark for Black Broadway as we talk about this history. Like this is something that it could be put in. Like we see old photos of back then, but now this could be something that's put in for the history, you know, for the future to see.
Yeah, man.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah. It was a wonderful experience.
Since you mentioned 8 Rock, can I just shout out to Peter Clare and was here on the real founder of 8 Rock. I was kind of riding the coattails, but and also Kenny Carroll, who I did a lot of poetry with back in the day. And I don't know if either one of them would like to hop on and we get to, you know what? In one moment you're like the youngest person in the room, and the next minute you're elder. It just happens just like that. I don't know.
Speak on it. Wow. No, that's dope. And see, you know, when I was watching this film, I was thinking about how all of these different situations, like how we shouted out Tony Asante Lightfoot and what she was doing, how she invited the space, you know what I mean? How Tony Blackman invited a space, how these things all kind of help shape DC's whole ethos, kind of how we did it. And you know, hip hop being such a very like most times misogynistic kind of art form, it was dope that you see how these connections, how women just kind of were interwoven in the thing as you know, and you know, that right there, I think speaks to how we were able to do what we were doing for so long. You know what I mean? And to be running up and down U Street the way, I mean, if you look at U Street now, it's nothing like what it used to be. But you know, to really be able to make those connections is powerful, man. Powerful.
Definitely, the women just add the balance naturally. But like what I wanted to show also with this piece is that how we learned from those women. So eventually when we were doing our own thing, it was because I said, make sure that that Tony Asante Lightfoot, how she ran her program. I showed how Tony Blackman was running her thing. And then I showed how, okay, we say, okay, well, we want to do it. We've learned from this and we've learned from them. So I wanted to showcase that, you know, kind of interwoven, but now we're explaining it. But I definitely wanted it to be on Front Street that we learned from these women.
That's right.
Sure.
Yeah, and Gabe, can I add Kenneth Carroll? I think he's on here. His camera isn't on though. But I just wanted to re-emphasize how much Kenny supported us.
Mm-hmm.
He supported the poets. He supported the MCs. He gave a lot of us jobs. And Kenny would negotiate when you couldn't negotiate. Kenny would roll up in the spot and talk to the bureaucrats and all of the folks. And so Kenny Carroll doesn't get a lot of flowers, and for all of the work that he has done navigating and maneuvering in the background, but he was truly has been a gangster in a lot of artists' lives.
Still is. Salute to Kenny. Definitely.
Yeah.
And then so Phil, where's Phil at?
Right here, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Here, I heard that voice all in and out of that film, man.
Yeah, man. It was a lot of fun doing this process with my brothers, and you know, it took me back, and it was hard not to get sentimental, you know, about the people we lost along the way. But you know, it was definitely a large part of our history here. You know, I'm honored to be a part of it. You know, being the Maryland Bama that I am. You know what I'm saying?
And thank you all for just documenting, man, over the years, because you know some of that footage is priceless, man. Like last night we were talking and I was saying this needs to be in museums, it needs to be in libraries and have its own exhibits, you know.
Oh yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
It will.
That story.
But like I would say that, but this is all able to be done because Chakra saw all of this in the past He saw all of this because he was filming when it was just like, oh, why does he have a camera? Why is it? Oh yeah, no, okay, if he's gonna rap, then he passed it to Troy. Now Troy's filming him. But but because he had all these things, because eventually one day he knew he wanted to make this. So, and I was just happy to be able to work with my brothers on it. So,
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Worldwide Amphibians crew. Y'all are all over the globe. Y'all ain't just here right now. So we are just kind of going quickly around with everybody that's on the call. Where are all of you all at right now in the world? We start with you, Khalil.
Oh, well, I'm in the Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. I'm where it all started.
You always got to ask that dude where he at, because he might be overseas somewhere.
Hey, I don't want to assume.
I just so happen to be ask that question with him.
Right. All right, so he's in D.C. Keep going. Let's go.
I'm C Popular. I'm in Queens, New York. Shout out to all my CQ people in here. I see you. Right. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm Joey Too Fresh, aka Joe Villa. I'm back in DC.
Okay.
All right.
Chakra Ashram. I'm in Bowie, Maryland.
SP Methods, Phil.
Oh, wait, no, man. I'm gonna step on you. Go ahead, Phil.
SP Methods, Beltsville, Maryland.
All right.
Who's in Beltsville? Who's in Beltsville?
Go find that brother.
Phil.
Oh, Phil. Peace, Phil. My name's Alex, DJ A Boogie. I'm also in Beltsville, man. We're neighbors.
Oh, word.
Peace to everybody in here. I learned a lot tonight. So thank you. Thank you for making this and contributing to this history.
And that's the brother I said that I met at the Uptown. Okay, I'm glad you showed up, bro. Peace,
peace, man. What's up, Phil?
Yeah.
Jamal, where you at?
Oh man, yeah. This is OJ Fresh. I'm Jamal. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm in Vermont on high alert right now.
Where?
Undisclosed location.
Yeah. I'm in the basement. I'm in the bunker.
All right. Who else we got?
Quixote.
Yo.
Oh,
where you at?
Yo, bless up, manners and respect. We do give thanks. One love straight from Jam Rock, you know what I'm saying? Kingston, Jamaica.
All right.
Yeah, bless, peace. Yo, great works, my team. Love it. Turn up.
Thanks.
Super dope, man.
I had to get that clip of you in there freestyling, bro. You know at Shop and Shannon. You said that at Shop and Shannon 20 years ago. You knew the future, bro. Shout out to you.
Peace to everybody in the room. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. This is Zach Slim Cat. Just want to thank everybody for popping up, showing up, and yeah, this is definitely it's definitely a reflection. Like it kind of took me aback for a hot sec. I'm actually like ready to look at it again just to be like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah, shout out to my bro RBI. He was when I got to Duke Ellington, he was one of the guys that I kind of related to, and he kind of brought me around the right people, and he kind of like, was like, I don't know, I guess he was the kind of like the center point for like bringing like everybody that was into finding like the hip hop in Duke Ellington, and like we pretty much found our tribe through RBI when I was in high school with Philly. So I appreciate his contribution to hip hop and DC hip hop as well too, because man, I learned a lot from him. Although we're brothers, I learned a lot from him. And yeah, shout out to everybody in the room. Definitely.
No, shout out to RBI, no doubt. He should have been on the mix on this.
No doubt. Oh, I'm gonna do my amphibian check-in.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead, my amphibian check-in. It's Quixote, indeed, Steve-O, whatever you want to call it. Checking in from Amsterdam. Yeah, man, just an emotional evening. Took a nap, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure I could wake up on time. I'm a little ahead of y'all in time, but I'm also just grateful for the product, for the event, for everybody being in here. There's some people I ain't get to touch base with in many years, and shouldn't be that long. But I'm just glad that I'm just grateful for the actual event itself. Thank you, Ash, for hosting. Just big up to everybody in the room. Those that couldn't be here, I know they're gonna enjoy it. Khalil, of course, salute. Chakra, salute. Jamal, salute. You know what I'm saying? I could do this all night. I see names in here that, where you see everybody. Yeah, man, it's just emotional for me just to see all those people, see all those faces, see all that energy in one place at one time. And it's not over. You know what I'm saying? We got work to do. So that being said, my check-in's out. All right. Peace to everybody in the room.
Bro. Peace. Thank you. I see you, Brother Los. What's up, man? Yeah, man. So thank you all for coming out.
Ash.
Yeah, please. What's up, bro?
What's good, fam? I just want to salute and thank all of you all. Like, it's funny because I tell people I was raised in Brooklyn, but I've been in DC since entering Howard in '86. So I really grew up and became a man here in DC, and seeing this has just been so affirming because we actually are working to try to capture the story of the hip hop conferences from 91 to 96. So seeing that opening scene, I was like, yo, that cipher was right during the conference and half of them probably snuck in, but that's all good. And so, and then seeing this grow and then looking at the boxes and seeing that a number of people was on U Street that actually Kenny taught me how to hire so that y'all worked at Martha's table. And that was part of the artistic hustle. So just being able to see that and being able to reminisce and still see everybody grown is just amazing, and would love to participate in any way possible. Ash, a curriculum got to follow with this so that it can get into the schools for the next generation. They got to see it. DC Public Schools has a class called what, DC the Rap or Bach the Rap or something like that. This has to be core content for that. So I just wanted to say peace. Shout out to Sub Z, my little big brother in the building, and so many families. So, but thank y'all. I'm definitely loving this.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for.
Yo, Ash, do you mind if I say something real quick?
Not at all, please.
Look, peace to everybody in the room. My name is Eddie Norris. I'm a good friend of Asheru. And I grew up in DC as a real hip hopper, and I want to say that this documentary touched me because it's like you're the group of people that I was looking for and didn't know where to look. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up predominantly in DC when go-go ruled the scene, so I had to sneak and listen to hip hop. Hip hop had to be like a secondary thing, and I didn't know that it had a scene as thriving. Like this documentary really opened my eyes up to things that I never knew about. I knew about what was pumping on the go-go scene, but I never knew that there was an underground hip hop scene here. So to see all these faces and these dope MCs with all these dope styles, I have to salute each and every one of you gentlemen. It's a pleasure to get to know you guys. I hopefully that, man, I can build with you guys and bring it back, because I was a MC myself at heart, but I didn't feel like I was going to be accepted. And to see that it was a community right across the street just does something to me, and it got me emotional. So salute to all you guys out here.
All right, man. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate that, brother.
No doubt.
Yo, Ash.
Yeah.
Just say one thing real quick. Well, Fresh Convos, me and the Juma brothers, we got together. We wanted to do something to represent DC hip hop. And of course, setting up the Zoom meetings and stuff with my amphibian brothers, it was there. It was just like, okay, what are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We've been like, we've been apart for like 10 years. And then we came back together and it's just like, okay, why don't it's time to like show people like, the history of U Street, the music history that we all created together. And that it has to be known. So, I mean, seeing this mini documentary, just like, it's everything. This is the first time I've seen it. And it's just like, wow, like I wish I can go back to that time.
Man.
But Fresh Convos basically it's gonna continue. I wanted to interview. Well, the first round was the amphibians, of course, because I needed to learn more how to host. and I've learned. And then like of course the second season, we've like interviewed Tim, RBI, and like there's more people to come, of course. And it's just like beautiful seeing everybody here. And like, it's funny in New York, when I moved to New York, no one knew I was an MC. When I moved to the Philippines, no one knew I was an MC, but they're here and they're watching. So, I mean, I'm grateful for that. And I thank you, my brothers, for like sticking there, you know what I'm saying? And making this happen.
Tell people where to
Sharu,
find
I haven't seen you in a long time.
long time, man. Hey, tell people where to find the podcast and everything, though, so they can follow up on the whole episode.
Yeah, so right now we have season 1 and I think 2 on Amphibians YouTube. So you can find that. You can find those there, like the actual interviews that were on this documentary are on there. But yeah, man, there's more to come and like a lot more history to show. But this introduction is just beautiful, man.
Absolutely. No, thank you all again, man. This is I want to thank the amphibians for having me tonight to host and being a part of this. This was a magical moment, man, a beautiful snapshot. So I'm probably gonna go back and watch it again later. But no, this was dope, man. I thank everyone for coming out. Thank everyone for coming out, tuning in for wherever you are in the world. Phil just put the link in the chat for anybody who wants a YouTube link. Anybody else got anything else to say? You can shout it out.
Can I just say something real quick? Something here. I'm late to the party.
What's up, bro?
I just want to express my sincere gratitude to all you guys. Like iron sharpens iron, and we've all just, I think, developed as a result of everyone's greatness. You know what I mean? And I really feel blessed and fortunate to be, have been alive and present during this time. And I just want to really thank you all and thank the amphibians for really like taking the time out and the energy to document. That wasn't no small feat. So much respect, much respect.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny, man. We were talking again when we were talking about it earlier. When you're in the act of, whatever, rhyming or making beats or whatever it is you're doing, you're just doing it and you're not thinking about documenting it. You know what I mean? But there's always that one person in the room with the camera. You know what I mean? And that person is the magic person, because long after that moment is done, they still got it. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of this whole experience, is that, we were just living through it. And then you look up and somebody has footage of like some random night at State of the Union, you know what I mean? And you're like, what? Y'all got footage of that? Like, you didn't even know. So that's the beauty of this whole experience, man. And we got to keep documenting everything we do. And the other piece that I'm really pulling from all of this is we got to continue to hold space for the younger people, the younger groups that are coming up, because that's what was extended to us. And I think that's why we keep, with Guerrilla Arts, with all the different organizations, Words, Beats, and Life, you can see that influence through all of these different organizations of holding space for the younger generation to keep going and doing what they're doing and passing that torch. So, I mean, we ain't passing nothing just yet because we still out here, but you know, we're grooming them. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the important piece of all of this. So, you know, y'all continue to keep going.
Can I hop in here real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, everybody been chatting. I've been chilling and watching. You know, I'm having a couple things going on right about now. But yeah, man, look, man, y'all ain't have enough RBI in this joint, man. I'm like, why? I was like, why?
Wild as a mother.
You know what I'm saying? You know what it is? Because you know, Phil the sexiest man in the DMV right now with that hair. So, you know,
he got that curly curls.
Yeah, Phil was like, you know what? Yeah,
got that
we
curly
know RBI.
fade.
I'm gonna take all the shine on this one right here. I just wanted to pop in, man. I've been watching and paying attention, and y'all know me, man. Y'all know I've been pushing for somebody from our community to make one of these things happen for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, the stars have been aligning. Everybody who's popped up on here, whether it's been somebody in the chat, everybody's been putting their work in. Everybody's been putting their bricks in. Nobody stopped. Everybody is continuing 2021, 22 and on to do something to keep this thing living and breathing. So this is yet another triumph. And, you know, I just want to say I'm happy. I'm proud. All of y'all are my brothers and sisters. I literally grew from a boy to a man with every last one of y'all. Yeah. You know, I traveled the world with Asheru.
No
you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You know, Slim Cat and I grew up literally blocks away from each other. We know each other's moms, are almost blood by maybe a couple of different hemoglobins. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how far we go back. You know,
right.
And we built the community, man. And this is a testament. This is not the only time. This is the mini doc. This is not the full doc. So, you know, salute to everybody, man. You know, I've stayed at everybody's crib. You know, you know what I'm saying. I've talked to everybody. We've all shared meals. We've all shared songs, you know, something. So this is like, I told folks at the Freestyle Union reunion, this was my fraternity. You know what I mean? I didn't stay at Howard. I didn't join the frat, but DC Hip Hop was my frat. You know what I'm saying?
Hard knocks, man.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I love all y'all, man. Like literally all y'all know that too. All y'all know I love y'all.
You already know.
We've spoken on that. You know what I'm saying? Every last one of y'all. So I just wanted to get that up real quick. I'm gonna go back into the ether, put my little logo back up, and y'all keep it rocking.
Shout out to the taco meat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the taco meat.
Hey Ash, I got two quick questions.
Yeah. What's up? Who's that, Jabari? What's up?
Yeah, two quick questions. I'm shut up. The first question is, how do we go back and watch the joint again? Can we just tap into a recording of this?
Yeah, they put a link in the chat. There's a link in the chat for YouTube.
Okay.
Yep.
It'll be up on our channel soon enough, but yeah, there you go.
Okay, I heard you. Whoever that was. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So my second question is, has any of y'all heard Beth's album, The Untitled Collection?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of us heard it.
A lot of people heard it. Does anybody have a copy of it?
Don't wait, sir.
Yes, we do. We were hoping to actually re-release it. As a conversation with Wayusi that we need to have. And,
who is talking? Okay, got you. I'm like, got you.
Yeah. So you know, it's a possibility of having it re-released. Just need to, of course, take care of all the business aspect of it. You know?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's it. Yeah.
My brain yesterday. So just to let y'all know, I was out in Atlanta, and my friend from high school 20 years ago hands me this CD that she must have heard me listening to it. Man, I listened to that shit so much. So when she played it in the car the other day, I just started crying because I was just like, I'm crying. She's looking at me like, you know how much stuff that this album got me through, and she's not from our scene at all. I met her. She was coming into Duke Ellington when I was graduating, and I couldn't find the record.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I'm riding around doing the Black Panther shit. She puts on the car, puts it in the speakers, and I'm just like, what the fuck? So she just sent me the record today, and I'm sitting here talking to you motherfuckers today. Yeah.
Wow,
Hey, yo,
that's crazy.
did she
But
send
I'm
you
gonna
the
talk to
whole
you
thing?
more about it because I have a vision that we may need to stage it. I kind of want to put some of these lyrics on stage, but we'll talk about it later. I'm out.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead, Dimes.
oh, okay. I just wanted to chime in a little bit. I just want to say, you know, along with like the robbery and stuff, this is me and Jamal had talked about this a while ago, years ago, the importance of documenting, and even before then with Black Broadway, with Claude and Khalil was putting it together. They had already started planting those seeds, and the importance of us telling our own story and us defining ourselves. Some of us have kids, and they need to see the legacy. And it's important that you guys did this. And it had me in tears watching it. A lot of that footage, you know, I wasn't aware of. And so to just see everybody in their youth like that, and the exuberance and the just the all around love and camaraderie. I've said this before. I have music family that I'm closer to than blood, and this is really important. I'm gonna get off before I start crying again. All right.
Bro, love you, man.
Love you,
My
Dubs.
guy.
We love you, Dubs. Get it out, nigga. Get it out.
Much love.
Yo,
Yes.
yo, Ash.
Yo.
I don't know if anybody spoke on this before, but I want to paint a picture to everybody that's in the room right now. To when Amphibians really first had like their big show, when we were opening up for Organized Confusion. So we didn't know what an unspoken herd was. We didn't know we didn't know who Asheru Blue Black was. We didn't know that. So we just came on to do our thing. You know, okay, we had a chance to rock a show. We come on, shout out to Kobe Kennedy who created the Amphibians logo.
Still there?
Okay.
Zach.
Okay.
Zach.
Shout out to Kobe. Shout out to Kobe. Okay.
Yeah, right. He
Yeah.
shouted out Kobe and muted himself.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, so yeah, we hear these songs, you know, No More. We hear what's up, bro? We hear elevator music. We go nuts. We go crazy. And this dude is from DC. This dude Andrew is from DC. So this is our introduction to Unspoken Herd. So it was a great night that night. It was definitely our first night at doing a big performance. You know, I wish we had got some of that footage then. But Organized Confusion came on. We got to shake hands with them. It was dope. It was a great night, and I just wanted to give Asheru his props, man. Thank you for representing the city so lovely.
Oh yeah.
And thank you for hosting, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Shout out.
Hey, yeah, can I say something real quick?
Please do.
Yo, this is Renell, y'all. Peace to everybody. This is a great experience, man. You know, a long time coming, you know, because there's always been like this blank spot where no one ever talks about like how DC was so dope in the 90s, and this definitely captures it. We're pretty much, you know, the Amphibians, you know. Oh, y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I think Dimes needs
Dimes, you gotta mute up, Dimes.
Hey, can you mute yourself?
Who, me?
No.
Somebody, I don't know who.
I'll wait.
Somebody was just talking. Okay, go over there.
I was just saying once again, this is definitely an honor. This is a great moment, and great opportunity. Kind of like touching what Dom said, that this is actually capturing accurately DC history. It always used to kill me how cats used to think, you know,
that there was no dope DC hip hop in the 90s, and things started with these millennials, and it's like, nah, man, we had it on lock, man, and y'all had it really on lock back then, man. So
I know
really,
police all over the place, but were any police like specifically like we're concerned about Michelle Bonner? Keeping her alive.
Peter,
what?
Peter, we can hear you.
Oh, shit.
Okay. I'll just stop.
Sorry.
Can you try again?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
The floor is yours, sir.
Once again, it's just great to see that we finally got this piece of history being shown that can educate the newcomers and the young cats and the people in the future about how dope DC was back then in the 90s. I mean, the creativity, the artistry, the atmosphere that y'all painted back then, you know, it inspired so many people. It made so many people who felt like they were outsiders. They had something that they could be a part of, man. You know, so I definitely want to tip my hat to every one of y'all. And a lot of people don't understand there's three people that I always look up to as far as, you know, not just being a dope ass person and benevolent and being great in their art, but just the benevolence that they always do. And as you, Asheru, Slim Cat, and RBI, y'all three people really help make this community a family. So I really want to say thank y'all, man. I really love y'all from the bottom of my heart, y'all. So peace.
Thank you, bro. Love you too, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, can I just speak for? I know I might be trying to hit. I just want to speak right quick. Like, let's say, I'm so glad Renee was able to say that, because let's say Renee's been telling me about telling this amphibian story to me for like the last 15 years, and I just be like, you know, but he always, man, you gotta tell it, man. They gotta know they gotta know the history. They gotta know the. So I'm just so happy that we were able to finally do it. And let's say this was a lot of work, right? But just seeing the response from you all now, it totally, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. Just for you all to be able to get a reminder of that feeling, because you know that U Street feeling is so special. It's just like
yeah,
but like it did exist. But it's like, you know, you can't see it and find it anywhere. So I'm glad I was able to just make a capsule so we can remember that it exists. I always say, Khalil, you got to tell your story before you forget it. Okay.
And before we close out, though, I want to just springboarding off of what you just said. How can we, moving forward, help support this project? How can we, help, whether it's funding or getting it visible somewhere, screenings, like what can we, if it's collecting more documentation, more pictures, more footage, like whatever it is, let us know how we can help support most immediately to what y'all are doing right now. This is for y'all.
Quiet.
Filmmakers.
Yeah, no. You can put donations in the chat. No, Cash App. No. Basically, what we've got going on right now is the YouTube channel is the way for everybody to obviously just keep up with what's going on visually, and being on our website, amphbns.com. And through that, you can obviously purchase anything that we're going to do, because this documentary at some point will be up for many people to see, but we're trying to really do the full length, the actual, the real documentary. This is the mini doc to get everybody set up. Khalil worked his heart out. Chatunga worked his heart out creating this, all knowing that there's a bigger story that we're moving for. And this is to just have people see the springboard, right? Like this is where we're going. So the being just locked in on the website, the Kickstarter is getting kickstarted. It's got the kickstand. It's kind of flopping, but yeah, we're getting there. But that's how we're moving. Just stay up with us, because we're always trying to put everything out and make sure that everybody knows. Those of y'all that have seen us, obviously you're here because we shout and we yelling because we love all of y'all. We happy to see all y'all. So yeah.
Yeah, make sure y'all exchange information. If you see somebody you ain't seen in a while, this is your chance to connect and do all of that.
Asheru.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to say something, man. I'm glad y'all did that, man. our story isn't getting told, so that's why I started the U Street TV. I got footage from the last 3 years. We should definitely incorporate some type of where are they now, because a lot of them became teachers and got into the schools. We need to tell that story as well. And I think that's important as well for the next generation to know that you guys reached back into the community and and taught the craft. So I got a lot of footage. I got a lot of interviews from everybody, a lot of people that's on here, except for a few people. But it's important that this documentary gets done, and nobody else from outside our area tells the story, because we are responsible for our own journey. So I just wanted to say that, and good job, guys. You did a wonderful job, man. I love to y'all.
Thank you, Los.
Just real quick,
Shout out to Los. Shout out to Los. I'm glad you got to see it,
Big brother
You know,
Los.
because they always say, man, you got, when you gonna pick up the camera again? When you gonna? I said, I'm going to do something again. I'm going to pick up the camera. And when they see me with it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, I'm working on something. I'm be quiet until it's finished, because a lot of talking, not a lot of walking. You know what I'm saying? But now y'all got to see it. So it's just the beginning for all these things, because this will lead into many more opportunities and much more funding and things to come, because so much potential in these stories. The greatest story never told. That's like, you hear that and it sounds corny till you actually live it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to shout out Troy and also Boogeyman Ghost, because it's like they were definitely a big proponent of me gathering some of the photographs and stuff. Like, they helped out with that. And so there was an album that was made first before this documentary. So it was the year's book, right? So it was basically just like photographs and basically like stories that Troy wrote down, like his little diary. And so I put it together into a book, and people thought that it was a documentary back then, but it's like, I didn't know, how to go about getting the documentary done. So it's like, and this was done in 2009. So once we got back together, it's like, okay, we have all the pieces. So it just seemed like everything seemed to connect. And, working with Khalil, it's like, it's like he's basically like, another side of me. So it's like, he definitely fills in the void of like what I can't work out. And it's just like, everything just kind of just, gelled, So, yeah. And so, yeah, thank you again.
Yo, man, for the people that don't know who you are, introduce yourself.
I know who that is. Chakra Ashram. Sorry, yeah, I got an amphibious master one. Yeah, Chakra Ashram.
Definitely.
And so Chakra has done all of the stuff for the Fresh Convo. So all of the filming and all of the graphics that were on the Fresh Convos, all the Fresh Convo commercials, all the amphibians merch. You know what I'm saying? He's a very humble brother. He ain't got nothing to say about nothing. But that hat that Jamal's got on, this shirt got on, like
these shirts,
like,
everything. That brother is the hardest working man on this stream. Khalil is running right there with him. Those two,
for sure.
But yeah, man, let's put it this way: he may not look that big, but he carries a lot of people on his back. I can tell you that much right now. So,
salute, Chakra. Salute. Thank you for being supportive. Salute, bro.
I can I just wanted to shout out Tungwood and the whole massive, all of us. I mean, Khalil, Joey Too Fresh, Jamal, all of us, man. We see Papa's, Coyote, we're all a family, you know what I'm saying? And for all the hard work y'all put into this, I mean, we all have our parts to play, but I mean, just watching this, it just brings tears to my eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's shout out to Tony Blackman, because I don't even think that, she's the nucleus of all this as far as I'm concerned. So I just wanted to say what's up to everybody, and I love this project, and I love what we've done. I love what we're doing. So let's just keep it up. Anything y'all need from me, though, all the support I can give y'all, I will give y'all. That's word. Good talk.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
That's one love.
Shout out to Troy. Shout out to Troy.
So as I guess I was sort of like an observer, but I got in the mix with this project. I just want to say, so one of the reasons, and this would be for RBI and others, that because we got this grant as an oral history project, it had to be existing oral histories. Like that was one of the constraints, that we couldn't interview new people. We couldn't interview anybody else that wasn't there. So the fact that Joey Too Fresh and Chakra had already been working on this. And, Khalil kept saying, hey, Mom, you watching this? You watching it? I was like, yeah, I see it. And I was like, oh, wow, you got what they're asking for, stories. And what the whole purpose of the grant is, they know that people got oral histories and stories, but sometimes they're in somebody's basement or somebody's attic or in the cloud. And they wanted us to have a way to get it out to people. So to the extent that, everyone can share this far and wide to your own networks, we would really appreciate that. And I think there could be more to come. I know when we talked with Asheru last night, he had like 10 ideas off the bat. And it was like, oh man, I love the way he thinks. So yeah, so if you could share it and just keep it going and make it viral, that would be great. And I don't know, maybe we can do some TikToks or something from it, Khalil. Something. I mean, that's what's gonna get people
it's
to
something. It's something.
TikToks
It's
will
something.
get people to the YouTube, to the, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I tell you, it's been a long time since I remember dropping Khalil off. Cause I saw some of those pictures you see in there, he was like 14, maybe.
Uh-huh.
So,
No,
but
wait, real quick though, Mama Judy, you gotta tell them what you told us last night about how Khalil, like if Khalil wanted to go to a go-go, you had a different response than if he wanted to go to like.
Well, yeah, because we love go-go, but during those days it was hot. Go-go, some of the spots, all of us mothers would be out there looking out the window to make sure our sons were coming home okay. But when he's like started getting into hip hop, I was like, oh, okay. And then, a lot of the brothers are coming through the house. So I was meeting them and, so I was like, okay, this go to hip hop as much as you want.
Right. She was like, I'd rather him go to the coffee house than the black hole. I was like, yeah.
14-year-old monster.
I get it.
14-year-old monster.
Amen.
But yeah, I so appreciate Joey Too Fresh, and as you said, I guess you say you're learning your way around this stuff, but what you've done, really was the backbone of being able to do this. Because if we didn't have those stories, then we wouldn't have been able to get that grant and do this. And I just say, sometimes you just never know where things are going to end up, but you just go ahead and put that step out there, and who knows? We might be in some film festivals soon.
Oh, definitely.
Man.
And this is why it's so important. This is why it's so important to honor your creative impulses. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Do what you are being called to do, being pulled to do, because you never know why you're supposed to do it, but always honor it.
That's so true. You know what, real quick, Tony, I got to shout you out too, because just today, I'm on my scroll. I'm scrolling through Instagram, wherever I was on, and I saw this post of yours that was about forgiveness. And it was like a real short clip, you know what I mean? And I pulled it back like 3 times. I was like, man, I was supposed to see that, man. Thank you, Tony. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything you're doing. You still blazing the trails for everybody. So that was dope. And see, Mama Judy, you talk about TikToks, you need to holler at Tony. Tony will show you how to do all that stuff, make the little clips and everything. Like, y'all connect that, man. Get that going. Y'all get that going. Yeah. But listen, I know we ran a little over what we expected, and I'm not rushing anybody at all. We can still stay here and vibe, but I just want to open up the floor one more time to just thank the Amphibians crew for having me as host tonight. Thank all of you all for coming. I want to thank the funders, the folks that helped support this project, and y'all just keep the love going. It was great to see all of you. It felt like a virtual family reunion just now. Still is. I still got that vibe. So I really want to thank all of y'all. I love all of you all, and let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep documenting. Let's keep spreading it far and wide and let people know what they missed. It's always funny. Like I talk about how I missed State of the Union, right? But there's a whole crew of people that missed State of the Union. You see what I'm saying? So just keep documenting, keep doing it. And like Tony said, keep following your creative impulse. Whatever it is you call to do, keep doing it. All right. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Salute to you all. Have a
Peace,
great
everybody.
evening.
Thank y'all for coming through.
Thank you all. Thank you, Ash, for doing this, man. Bless up to you. Killed it, man.
I'm gonna let y'all niggas know right now, everybody. I'm sorry for using the N-word. Mama Judy, I just wanted to let you know I love you. I used to be able to go in your house like it was my mama house. Like I only been over there like 5 or 10 times, but them 10 times was one time Khalil wasn't even home and I was hanging out with Miss Judy. She poured me tea. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I'd have said that in a rap. Khalil would have battled the shit out of me. I'm not even trying to be no way, bro. Like Los, me and Los, every time I see Los, we stop. We go to whoever's house is closest and we rap, nigga. We did that for years. Every time we see each other, we still say, man, fuck all the bullshit. Find a beat. Let's freestyle. We gonna do that. And so all y'all niggas know. So you know, I tell people my story. When I get on stage, I have a lot of stories that I tell people. Long stories about Chad, long stories about different people. But another story that I tell is about you guys all the time. And I talk about how I found God in a hip-hop cipher. I'm not gonna expound on that right now, but I talk about it all the time.
Man.
But I'm saying that to say, you know, when Tony left, RBI gave me that concept called mind power. So we start doing the same thing, same shit. We doing the same shit. But the point is, I had to use that title and upgrade the Freestyle Union mentality to that title so that I could pass it on. And when I talk about it, I'm just really talking about the supernatural ability of the human mind that we don't really tap into, that the MCs go out of our way to just try to reach further than what everything is feeding us. So the point is, every time I see y'all,
oh man, that's some dope shit, man.
We're gonna get 5 minutes in. I'm just telling you.
Right.
Be warned.
Hey, with all the smoke.
No, it ain't about no smoke. We need to send smoke signals to God to keep telling them we thankful for helping them. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else gonna feel it. I'm out. All right, shut up for real.
Some got to be done. All this death music out in these streets, anyway. So.
Right, something needs to be done.
Right.
I just want to thank Tony Blackman. Thank you. It was a beautiful thing that you've done for our culture and the 25th anniversary Freestyle Union reunion.
Oh yeah, at the Kennedy Center.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Always putting on. All right, y'all.
Young old, right?
What you say?
I say young old people. Look at y'all. I see Francesca. Look at y'all friend here. Who are these party people here?
Get greater later.
Big up, friend.
What's up, Mark?
Big up,
U
friend.
Street TV.
Big up, friend.
Peace, friend.
Hey, family. Okay, you just gave me all the life. I was just going to sit here and keep enjoying and loving and vibing and going down memory lane. You guys brought so much joy and happiness into my spirit right now. I'm between my cheeks being sore from smiling and wanting to cry in the best possible way. So I thought I was going to gracefully just sit here and smile with y'all, kiki and dip out, but let me just take a minute to say I absolutely love you. I'm so happy to be a part of this. Tony, definitely couldn't have done it without you. So I wouldn't have known about it, but I just feel so enriched and great when I'm thinking about when this started. Everybody looked hella young to me, and I'm like, look at all my little baby brothers. Now y'all grown ass men with kids and married. I'm like, when that happened. But I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. So just, I couldn't, if I could give you any more love than that I'm radiating right now, I would. But just love, light, happiness, health to everybody. I'm looking forward to the next time of seeing you in person or the next time we have, as someone said, our virtual family reunion online. I'm here for it. Absolutely.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Amphibians, thank you all for having us. Y'all give it one last round for the Amphibians crew. The whole Amphibians massive all over the world.
Great job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Evening.
Give thanks, bro.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate
Love y'all. Have a great evening.
Hi, Natty.
All my brothers.
Every one of y'all.
Peace.
Peace, peace. Peace, y'all.
Peace, everybody.
God.
Some people still on. Later, people.
I'm out.
Wow, okay. How you get out of here?
Bye.
So
Bye.
Joe, you're in town. You're in town.
Yes. I'm
How long
here
gonna be here for?
for a long time.
Okay.
My wife is working at Burke, so she's a school counselor at Burke. So we live
Okay.
near the UTC area.
Okay.
So we'll see you.
Yeah, good
You're
to
still
know.
here, right?
Yeah, I'm
Because
in
you're
Northeast.
everywhere. Yeah.
I did travel a little bit, but now I'm in Northeast for now. But we might try to get together in person soon. So it'd be nice to see you.